Hello everyone, welcome back to Huckleberry's Honey and Bee Removal, where we focus on colony conservation and property preservation. The job I'm going to show you today, it's a 2024 job that I'm going to show you, a little slideshow. And this one was real unique. The building was awesome. The man that owned the place, little backstory, I believe he had the land cleared back in the mid to late 50s, and he took all of the wood that he cleared off the land and he built the whole house with it. It had cool, nice beams all through it, columns, the floors, the siding, the whole entire structure was made from trees that he cleared himself, took to the sawmill, brought them back, built the house. Awesome. I mean, how much more American does it get than that right there? You know, that's really cool. Ingenuity and using what you have. Anyways, I hope that you enjoy this little quick slideshow. This was an awesome job for us. Had an amazing hive within the hearth of this chimney structure. But I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you after this. All right, so here we're going to get started. This was an awesome structure. The man that built this place, he had all the wood cut down, built this house, but the bees were going in on the side of this chimney and getting in behind the hearth. I'm going to take you through the process we did to remove these. This man's a hunter, and with the FLIR, it actually looked like the rest of the deer was behind the wall. Look at that right there. Look at that big bright section. When I first saw this, I was thinking, is that that actual heat from the sun coming all the way through? Just because it was so large. Now look at this beautiful hearth area right here. I love walking on places like this. You can see where I was stuffing rags in, where the bees were actually coming out. Here's a nice view of after we got everything moved out of the way, getting ready for work. Just a beautiful hearth and extension and fireplace. It's just an awesome spot. Here we have JY again. It's my favorite helper. Can't go wrong having this young man working by your side. This is where we like to protect the floors. A lot of times people say, oh, don't worry about that, but they also don't understand exactly the impact of what we're exactly about to do. It's going to get dusty and dirty. It's going to get sticky. So we like to protect the floors. We also like to, sometimes if we're in a situation like this, we build ourselves our own little habitat, a little enclosure for us to work in, and just to keep the dust down in the house, especially on something of this, because we're going to be cutting this out. Now here we are, we've started cutting into our mortar joints of this stone. All of this is real pieces of stone, and what we do is we start with the mortar. We cut those mortar joints out, and you can see here as we've gone behind and we've chipped that stone out, and it's left impressions where the mud and everything was, and you can see where we have left other larger pieces of stone still in place, but those will come off. All right, you see these cuts that we've made. So I found my studs, and what I did on this is I actually used a skill saw and a demo blade for things of this nature. I cut through stone, that metal lathe, nails, and the wood behind it, the plywood that's actually all of this is mounted to. Look at that right there. There's the hive. All those bees up in the left corner, they ran as we pulled all of that off. And then slabs. This was just awesome to be able to see this extremely large hive. I want to say that this was about 5 combs deep within this wall. It was about 5 deep.
as you come up to the top, all those white cappings, that's honey. So that whole top part was honey. And you see our red light here. We like to work under that red light. Keeps the bees a little bit more calmer than shining a spotlight right in there to them while you're trying to work them out. Here's JY. He's making some quick work of vacuuming those bees. I'll do a lot of work, and then he'll pick up and start working on getting those bees out of there for me so I can get a break in. See, we're pulling out slabs. All the brood comb is down here at the bottom, and they like to, there'll be some bee bread and honey and stores like that throughout the edges of the brood comb, but they like to store their surplus up top, and that's what you're seeing up there is all that surplus. That's all honey behind those white caps. This here's a section of brood comb that JY is holding. Most of the time I'm cutting these sections out, I'm passing them to him, and he's framing these things up for us as we go along and putting them into he's putting them into the hive transport unit as we move along. Here we go. He's got a good picture of me with a nice fat slab of that brood comb. This was an awesome hive. I was very impressed with the bees' work on this one. They got themselves into a hard to reach place as well. And here we go. We've worked our way back to the wall, to the block wall. And what I like to do is I like to get all the brood comb out, and then I'll work on getting the honey sections out, because that way it keeps the mess down, as opposed to just cutting into all these sections of honey and letting it drip everywhere. And here we go, we got it cleaned out. We got, there's a drastic difference from before and after here, just having this is before we even cleaned it. This is just getting everything out. All right, and here we go. This is after we've cleaned it. We prime it heavily, sealing that smell to deter the bees. And we won't pack this because it is actually for radiating heat. And so I just put this section back up. I actually did some extra framing in there so it would work out right and give me something to bolt back into. But we've got this section placed back in there, and it's ready to be put back together. Look at that. That's after all the stone work's back in. See those wet mortar joints? And this is right before we kind of, we'll brush and tidy those mortar joints up and make it a little bit more defined. You'll be able to see that here in a second. And there we are. That's finished product right there. Hope you enjoyed viewing this job. This was a long job. I think it took us 3 sections, 3 days.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for checking out this slideshow and a little backstory again on this. So we actually did this job in between another job at night. So we did most of this job during the nighttime as we were doing other jobs during the day, catching naps in the morning, catching naps in the evening. So when the season gets to rolling, sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do to get the job done, satisfy our customers. This one was a little bit of an exception, but it was a very awesome job for us, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope you did as well. And we can't wait to see you on the next one with Huckleberries Honey and Bee Removal. Thank you very much.